Hey everyone and welcome to Storytime. My name is Jake and today we are going to be looking at the subreddit r/maliciouscompliance, where people conform to the letter but not the spirit of a request. If you're new around here, please do hit subscribe down below so that you never miss out on another video. But for now, let's sit back, relax, and enjoy some malicious compliance. You want to one-up your friendly neighbor? Alrighty then. A few years ago, I used to work at a toy store. The store mainly focused on high-priced and European-made toys. One of our big sellers in the toy store is Sylvanian families. They're basically little animal figures that you can buy accessories and houses and stuff for them. Think of them as animal doll houses. They're from Europe and can be pretty expensive. The store is in an area where the families have a high disposable income. As in, quite often you see Mercedes, Porsches, BMWs, Audis and Ferraris inhabiting the parking spaces. Well, as you'd expect, with high disposable income comes that real keeping up with the Jonases mentality. One-upping is rife in this area. Toys are no exception. Sylvanian families are hot items for parents to use as a way to determine their child's social status. So, the bigger the collection, the bigger their kid is in the rich fish pool. I know the family with the biggest Sylvanian family's collection belongs to a little girl, about 7, whose mother works for the Japanese embassy. The father is a lecturer, so a big money family. This family, I'll call the Jays, are the most kind and sweethearted family in existence. They pay top dollar for their little daughter, and she is so sweet and humble when she wants to chat with us. It's a delight when they shop here. We also know that their neighbours are the exact opposite. I don't know what the husband does, but the wife, I'm pretty sure, is a moocher. Think Peggy Bundy from Married with Children. In fact, that's what I'll call this mother. Whatever the Jay's daughter had, Peggy's 8-year-old tyrant had to have one more or better quality. Actually, whatever the Jays have, she demands to do one better. Peggy is honestly the type that if Mrs. J came down with a cold, she'd run naked from her house in the dead of winter, straight into the hospital's ICU and pencil roll over the contagious patients and drink from their catheter waste containers and colostomy bags in the hope she'd contract pneumonia. Anyway, Peggy must have heard that the Jay's daughter was given some Sylvanian families as a birthday present. They spent about $90. This was a week before Peggy's arrival to settle the score. Peggy flew into the store like a misguided menopausal missile, zooming across the western section of the store before detonating in the upper atmosphere that is the central part of the store with a velociraptor-like shriek. "Where are the Sylvanian families?" In the eastern section of the store. I point to a pyramid of Sylvanian family toys, most of them recent arrivals, and she may as well have been the alien queen finding Ellen Ripley. She power marched over to the pyramid and scanned each and every one. She snapped her fingers at me. "You, here, now!" Not a lot of things get up my goat, but finger snapping at me like I'm a dog is definitely one of them. I suck it up and see what she wants to buy. I know she's buying, and buying big. Found something you like? How much did the Jays spend on their daughter's Sylvanian families? I dunno, $90? You can hear the Jeopardy theme go in her head as she's working out how to top a 90 quid on a Sylvanian family's present. Well then, my son is turning 9 in a month, and I want his collection to be better than Jay's daughter's collection. Okay. This was a Friday, and is generally one of our days where head office demands that we reach a high sales target. We had a slow day up until this point, and unless we had a miracle money bag drop on us from on high, we were not going to reach close to that day's budget. It's company's policy to recommend toys to parents, but not make it an effort to deliberately gouge them. A lot of the high-income earners in the area could be a real Scrooge and didn't take kindly to us trying to proverbially cut open the bottoms of their wallets. I also wanted to make budget to finish the week on a high, so I decided to take advantage of Peggy's one-upmanship game. Her 8-year-old status meant everything to her, so I gambled on gouging her wallet to plump up my budget and her not noticing. Let's see, $90, $90. Ma'am, allow me to show some of the Sylvanian family toys I know that the Jays don't have. Peggy immediately feasted her attention onto me as I pointed to the new releases. Some of them I knew had been bought by the Jays, but hey, a little white lie every now and then never hurt, right? I assumed she was going to go for a $100 purchase, but no. She snapped up families, their accessories, houses, shops, schools, all the new releases, even bought multiples of some of the smaller packs when I suggested some of the packs work better when you have doubles of them. Jesus had left the $100 limit server long ago. Peggy keeps piling up the trolley. At this point, she's not even bothering to look at them. She's not even listening to me. If it's Sylvanian families, it goes into the trolley. She's gone into an autopilot frenzy. Peggy's eroded so much of the pyramid that she discovers what we've been using to form the pyramid shape. The Sylvanian family's windmill houses. Oh boy, $250 for one of these. She takes 2. Our once great pyramid has been ravaged by a Category 5 Hurricane Peggy. We all thought the Sphinx of Giza's nose getting blown off was a disaster. The state of our SF pyramid was a catastrophe. By this point, I am hoping she buys all she has grabbed because it would be a royal pain to put the pyramid back together. I ring all the toys up. It's $890. I tell her the amount and Peggy huffs and steams up like a busted gasket. No, that's not good enough. She marches back to the pyramid, takes another SF accessory pack and has me ring that up as well. It's over $900. The beast is fed. $90? Try $900. I win. Against Jay's daughter. Maybe I can see the logic in that. But in terms of outright spending, she got beaten a month later. A hoity-toity from the French embassy bought just over $1,500 of Sylvanian families and dollhouses. They were much nicer than Peggy as well. As for my budget, the $900 injection went a long way to clearing it. Do I regret gouging Peggy's finances? Nope. Did her husband's? Yes. He carted one of the windmills and a whole pile of them back to the store on the following Monday and furiously demanded a refund, which we didn't do unless there was a fault or breakage on our end. I didn't work that day, but one of the managers I hated did, so her having to deal with that inferno made it all the more sweeter. Edit, I forgot to mention that Peggy paid for it all on her husband's Amex, which attracts a 2% surcharge. I'm sat here wondering, how can a single person drop $900 on Sylvanian like a dollhouse? Like surely the 9-year-old isn't going to appreciate how much it actually is worth, because I'm pretty sure if you got something for like $50 and just said, oh, this is worth a lot, then they'd be like, yay, play with, oh my, they're just spoiled, aren't they? Manager told me not to do the things that weren't my job, so I didn't. A little bit of a backstory. For about 3 years, I worked at a large chain store in the electronics department. It was my first job out of high school, and thanks to a combination of me being a tech nerd and a couple very kind co-workers, I picked up on not only the job, but our products quite easily. I knew what I was doing within the month, and before the year was over, I was a contender to take the department's manager position when he left. I ended up not getting the position, but that's a story for another time. Fast forward 2 years, and the company restructures its stores. Basically, instead of working in a particular department, now you do one job across the entire store. So, now you have people who specialized in, say, fashion, forced to do the price changes all over the store in departments they don't know. No one likes the changes, and over the next few months, over half the staff quits, including the entire electronics team. Except me. I am now the only person in the entire store with the knowledge and experience to run electronics. Management included, as many of them were replaced during the restructuring. As one of our highest shrink, theft, and the highest profit departments, they know they're done without me. So, they bend over backwards to make sure I stay on. If I'm at work, I'm in electronics. And if I want to do something, no one questions it. They know I'm the only one who knows what I'm doing. I'm the only person in the store with this privilege. Now, onto the malicious compliance. After about a year, my manager who worked out the deal with me to let me run electronics leaves, and a new manager from after the restructuring takes over. Technically, my job is Customer Experience Specialist. Basically, all I'm supposed to do is customer service. Stock, different team. Price changes, layout changes, different teams. Unofficially, I do it all for electronics, because the few times other people did it, I spent my entire next shift cleaning up their mistakes. And I made sure management knew it. New manager finds me rearranging a section one day, preparing some new stock to come in with the release of a new iPhone. Cases for it and such. He throws a fit and tells me I'm not supposed to be doing that. It's not my job. At first, I try explaining why I'm taking care of it, but he doesn't want to listen. I kind of just ignore him, try to placate him until he wanders off, then go back to my work. Apparently, he sees this, because the next day, he writes me up. Fine, don't want me doing things beyond my job? So be it. I've been working here too long to care. For the next 3 weeks or so, I do nothing except customer service. No customers in the department? I'm stood behind the till, being paid to do nothing. I watch as the shelves empty, with no one stocking them or correcting for the items getting stolen. Our back room is overflowing with electronic stuff that can't go out because the new shelf layouts haven't been done. Everyone just thought I would do it. I didn't. A month goes by and management's freaking out. Our profits are way down. The back room is a mess. The shelves are barren. What's going on? I'm sipping my drink, stood behind my till. Finally, they realize what happened. The manager that started it all is quietly shuffled into the back room and I get a new one, who tries to work out a new deal with me. The store-wide inventory is coming up in 2 months, and it's going to be a disaster unless I step in and save them. I hand in my 2 weeks notice. I'd been applying for other jobs during my hiatus, and I got hired by a cell phone company, who operates the cell phone kiosks for my company. I request to be put in my store. The request is granted. Now, here I am, watching from behind my kiosk as electronics goes down in flames. Profits are through the floor, and the inventory check was the worst I'd ever heard of. As a result, the store's budget is cut. I told them when I gave my notice to have me train someone, but they didn't have the hours to spare. They really don't have the hours now. Edit, an update for you all. I had a friend still with the store check for me and can provide some solid numbers. In the month since I left, the profits from electronics are down 44.7%. Our store as a whole is ranked 12% in the district for profit increase. There are 12 stores in the district. The entire store is down almost 15%. Edit number 2. There's been speculation, and since I'm no longer with the company, I don't mind sharing that store in question is Walmart. They introduced the new system, dubbed One Best Way, in summer of 2017 across Canada, and my store got screwed by it hard. Employees who had been there 15 to 20 years walked out without a second thought, and many of the oldest workers just up and retired. That must have been so funny to do. Like, they come in and they take him to the back room. All right, we need you here. This is your last chance. We're gonna fail if you don't step up to the podium. And he's just like, you know what? Here's my 2 weeks notice. Have fun. Hey everyone, I hope you all had a really good day and that you enjoyed that video. If you want to check out some other videos, then click on screen right now or check out the playlist down below. If you enjoyed that video, then please do leave a like. And if you want to submit your own stories, then you can do so by joining the Discord in the top link in the description. But thank you so much for watching and I will see you very soon.